Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Corbin Russwin part number 422F88. This is a standard surface mount rim cylinder collar. Very garden variety type of rim cylinder collar. A little bit different than other rim cylinder collars in that it actually sits inside of the hole and doesn't slop around the head of a rim cylinder like others might, because there's a small amount of that rim cylinder collar that's going to fit inside the hole that you drill. Let's take some basic dimensional properties of this item. And again, if you have a rim cylinder, even a mortise cylinder, even though that's really not the right collar to use for a mortise cylinder, you could, if your application permitted it. Outside diameter, 1.902 outside diameter. The inside diameter, 1.25 inch, 1.25. The area that's going to fit inside the hole you're going to drill, that's going to be, 1.2502, because that lip is incredibly tiny. Drilling a 1/4 inch hole is probably going to be a bit tight. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Let's start over. I need my better glasses. The inside hole was 1.25 on the nose. Right, okay. The outside of the ring here that's going to fit inside the hole, I was thinking to myself, that's too small, but my eyes deceived me. The dimension is 1.302. 1.302. So drilling a 5/16 hole would be probably pretty ideal. 1.3125, 1.302, probably going to be right in there. Overall thickness of the ring, not including the portion that will stick into the door, is 0.146. 0.146 right in this area. Smart little trim ring. I happen to have a part of a rim cylinder here just to show you what it looks like. That's what your installation will look like. Small amount of room inside of that area for the cylinder to move for final adjustment, I suppose. Getting it placed exactly where you want. But that's what it's going to look like. It's only going to project off the face of the door, that thickness that I just provided. Corbin Russwin also has a flush style mount. And in order to show you that, let's switch over to the screen view and take a look at the supporting documentation. So this is the item that we're looking at. By the time you're looking at this video, there will be some uploaded. There will be images, but also a cut sheet that's not currently here. I don't have it linked to yet. But to get to that document, let's click on the manufacturer's page as seen here. Let's scroll down to the full product catalog. And then when that loads, do a find function, Control F or so on your keyboard. Type in your part number. That'll bring us to where all of the instances of this collar are located. There's in particular one page that is better than the others. And there it is. This is the page linked to down below. It shows the miscellaneous rim cylinder that we're dealing with. That flush style, that 255F53, that's really smart because it really projects off the face of the door by about only 35 thousandths. Not even the thickness of a kick plate does it stick off the door. This one's closer to 125 thousandths. Other cylinder collars are mentioned on this page. Spring style collars are up over here. Solid collars, depending on what the application is. Exit device, vandal resistant trim, recessed compression ring style collars that you would use a wave washer with. Small amount of taper on this material. That's a straight cylinder collar that will have the recessed area for the head to fit into. It's basically a blocking ring that allows the head to sit flush. Okay. Spacers for flexible head cylinder. So flexible head cylinder from um, Corbin Russwin is a flexible head cylinder, is a really interesting gizmo in the sense that the head of the cylinder is manufactured in such a way that there is a linkage between the body of the cylinder and the head of the cylinder. And that linkage is basically little E-rings and springs so that you can literally compress the head of the cylinder as you thread. So what's the purpose of a flexible head cylinder? What I have found it to be is, especially on master ring, and I think master ring, that's how you're going to get, if you're not familiar with Corbin Russwin's master ring cylinder, that's an entire different conversation. It's a technology, it's a platform or a technology of cylinder design that was patented in about 1889 or so, and allows the isolation of biddings of a master or a TMK from the change key biddings. And there are several and many advantages to isolating those biddings from change key operations. But the flexible head cylinder is interesting because you can have a job like a school, and in that school project, let's just imagine you're going to have aluminum doors, you're going to have wood doors, you're going to have hollow metal doors, you might even have some fiberglass doors. If you were to walk around with a caliper, you could have some plastic laminate doors, wood core plastic laminate doors as well. You could have hollow metal doors that are 18 gauge. You could have some that are 14 gauge steel stiffened. If you walked around that project with a caliper and measured every door, I guarantee you every door is going to come out at a different thickness. If you had a 14 gauge steel stiffened door, that's going to be 1 7/8 inch thick door. If you had a fire rated wood veneer door, that's going to be about 1.71. A flexible head cylinder allows you to contend with that varying door thickness sort of situation. Anyway, other solid collars, this tapered style is really great for security and vandal resistance because it's so tapered you can't really get a wrench on it. You're going to use the wave washer there. And this is just a blocking ring. You can buy blocking rings in all kinds of thicknesses. And here's our 422 F88 right there. Other matches of the ring or the cylinder collar in the catalog are just variations on what we've already seen. Now back to the manufacturer's page that we have here. You can start to view all of the Corbin Russwin products that we have. You can get to the manufacturer's website here. You can again view that full product catalog. The name Corbin Russwin is synonymous with exit devices, door closers, lock sets, lots of solutions. Other encyclopedic documents that are here, service manuals, parts diagrams, templates, and for fun there are archival catalogs here. And for instance, if you wanted to see what P.F. Corbin was doing in 1895, well, there's the catalog link right there. That's a pretty epic document because it's probably 700 scanned pages. But it's a fun deep dive into looking at the world of turn of the 20th century hardware. I won't allow that to load. Actually, we'll leave it load. The other encyclopedic documents that are here that I'd like to call to your attention would be the cylinder manual. The cylinder manual is the single, in my opinion, the single most important governing document when it comes to a manufacturer's keying platform, technology, history, evolution. It was P.F. Corbin, it was Russell and Irwin. Corbin, Russwin, then Corbin Russwin. They merged at some point, I think, in the 1990s. When you are making locks, when you are in the business of lock construction, and they were in business well before 1895, at least P.F. Corbin was, you can imagine how many different keyways and keying systems you might have evolved over those several decades. And Russwin is, of course, no different. That document, this is, I said 740 pages. This document is proof, once you eventually get to where the cylinders are, or the lock sets are, is proof of how much evolved the entire world of cylinders and keyways and cylinder keying technology is, And this cylinder manual is that governing document for both of those companies over the decades and well over a century. To be able to successfully play within the Corbin and Russwin world without this document is just really not possible, because you would have, a smart locksmith is going to take a cylinder apart, or someone who's not even a locksmith, just someone who has, substantial intelligence. There are people who can take the cylinder apart and slowly learn how it works and learn what it must be and what it cannot be. Well, for the rest of us, it's nice to have a book to read to teach us how to do it, and this happens to be that book. It's pure. The only way for you to understand Corbin and Russwin history without this document is to have an example of everything, and that's just not possible. They have scores and scores of keyways that have existed over the world. They have pre-System 70 and System 70, which is a two-step versus a single-step progression system. And again, to live without this document is just really possible to be successful with Corbin Russwin. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, very typical and common cylinder collar, that's to be sure. Frankly, if you're buying rim cylinders, they're going to come with a cylinder collar. This one's nice because it doesn't move around your hole very much, whereas a common cylinder collar that will probably come with your rim cylinder, that's going to slop around as much as you can move the cylinder. This will, of course, be available in the different finishes that Corbin Russwin does on lock sets. I don't know that you're going to get a 606 finish on a trim ring, but you might. This client ordered 6 of the standard and 6 of the flush, and I can see that they're a locksmith, so I'm thinking this is just truck stock. You need to be able to have your hands on a cylinder collar just to tidy up a proper installation. If you have any questions on the Corbin Russwin, this is their 422 F88 standard rim cylinder collar, or any other Corbin Russwin product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.